Hidden behind high walls and barbed wire lies one of London's most enduring institutions, HMP Wormwood Scrubs. For nearly 150 years, it has witnessed the evolution of the British prison system, housing thousands of inmates, and shaping the story of justice in the heart of the city. HMP Wormwood Scrubs, commonly referred to simply as the Scrubs, stands as one of London's most iconic correctional institutions, a landmark not only for its sheer size but also for its enduring place in the history of the British penal system. Established in 1875, the prison was constructed during the Victorian era, a period characterized by rapid urbanization, social reform, and a growing public awareness of crime and punishment. The decision to build Wormwood Scrubs reflected the pressing need for a large, modern prison to accommodate the increasing population of offenders in London, and it quickly became one of the city's primary detention facilities. From its inception, the prison was designed with a focus on security, order, and surveillance. Its architecture was heavily influenced by the principles of the Victorian penal system, which emphasized not only containment but also moral reform. The prison's imposing walls, formidable gates, and extensive layout were intended to convey authority and deter criminal behavior. Unlike smaller, localized facilities, Wormwood Scrubs was designed to handle a significant number of inmates, making it a central hub in London's correctional network. Its construction incorporated the latest ideas of the time, including separate wings for different categories of prisoners, exercise yards, workshops, and areas for educational instruction, demonstrating an early recognition of the role that environment and structured activity could play in rehabilitation. Throughout its long history, Wormwood Scrubs has witnessed profound changes in British society and the criminal justice system. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the prison housed a variety of offenders, ranging from petty criminals to more serious felons, reflecting the social and economic challenges of the period. The Industrial Revolution and urban growth in London had created new opportunities for crime, and institutions like Wormwood Scrubs were central to maintaining public order. The prison's operation during this era also mirrored broader trends in penal philosophy, moving gradually from a strictly punitive approach toward one that recognized the importance of reform and rehabilitation. Victorian-era prison reforms emphasized structured labor, moral instruction, and discipline, all of which were central to daily life within Wormwood Scrubs. The prison's historical significance is further underscored by its role during major periods of national crisis. For instance, during both World Wars, Wormwood Scrubs adapted to serve additional functions, including housing prisoners of war and accommodating those considered security risks. Its strategic location in West London made it a key site for managing individuals who posed threats to public safety. Beyond wartime, the institution has continuously evolved to address emerging challenges in law enforcement, criminal behavior, and penal administration. Its ability to adapt over nearly a century and a half illustrates not only the flexibility of its design but also the resilience of the institution itself. Wormwood Scrubs has also been closely tied to the cultural and social history of London. It has been referenced in literature, journalism, and media, often symbolizing the complex balance between punishment and rehabilitation, security and humanity. Writers and social commentators have used the prison as a lens through which to examine broader issues such as justice, inequality, and the challenges of urban life. Its walls have seen generations of prisoners come and go, each carrying stories that reflect the shifting attitudes of society toward crime and punishment. In many ways, Wormwood Scrubs serves as a living archive, preserving within its structure the evolving philosophies and practices of the British penal system. The historical importance of Wormwood Scrubs is further amplified by the notable figures who have passed through its gates. Over the years, the prison has held a diverse array of inmates, from high-profile criminals to individuals whose stories shed light on social and political movements. Each inmate, regardless of notoriety, contributes to the narrative of the prison, embedding it deeply within the social memory of London. Researchers, historians, and criminologists often study Wormwood Scrubs not merely as a physical space but as a reflection of societal values, institutional challenges, and the ongoing debate about the purpose and effectiveness of incarceration. In conclusion, HMP Wormwood Scrubs is much more than a large prison in London. It is a historical monument to the evolution of criminal justice in the United Kingdom. Its walls have stood for nearly 150 years, witnessing the transformation of penal philosophy, social attitudes toward crime, and the challenges inherent in balancing security with rehabilitation. The prison's Victorian origins, combined with its ongoing function as a Category B facility, make it a unique and enduring symbol of both the history and the continuing story of London's correctional system. Understanding Wormwood Scrubs is, therefore, not only about acknowledging its role as a place of confinement but also appreciating its place in the broader historical, social and cultural landscape of the city. HMP Wormwood Scrubs is classified as a Category B prison, a designation that places it in the second highest security level in the United Kingdom's prison system. Category B facilities are designed to hold prisoners who do not require the maximum security of Category A prisons, yet still pose a significant risk to the public, staff, or other inmates if allowed to escape. This classification is crucial because it shapes the daily operations, security measures, and rehabilitation programs within the prison, ensuring that safety and order are maintained while offering opportunities for inmates to reform. Unlike Category A prisons, where security is absolute and escape would pose a direct threat to national security, Category B prisons like Wormwood Scrubs must strike a delicate balance. They need to be secure enough to prevent serious incidents or escapes, while still allowing inmates access to educational programs, workshops, and supervised recreational activities. This classification affects nearly every aspect of prison life, from the architecture of the wings and the design of cell blocks to the way staff monitor inmates and manage routines. The prison is equipped with advanced security systems, controlled movement protocols, and highly trained officers who maintain vigilance around the clock. The Category B designation also reflects the diverse profile of inmates held at Wormwood Scrubs. The prison accommodates a range of offenders, from those convicted of serious but non-life-threatening crimes to those serving sentences for violent or organized criminal activity. This mix of prisoners necessitates careful classification within the facility itself, often segregating inmates based on behavior, risk level, and rehabilitation needs. Officers are tasked not only with enforcing discipline but also with identifying potential security risks and ensuring that tensions between different groups of prisoners do not escalate. Furthermore, being a Category B prison influences the rehabilitation programs offered at Wormwood Scrubs. Inmates are encouraged to participate in educational courses, vocational training, and workshops that prepare them for reintegration into society, but these programs are conducted under strict supervision to maintain security. The balance between security and rehabilitation is delicate. The prison must prevent escapes or violent incidents while still creating an environment where inmates can engage in meaningful activity and personal development. The Category B status also has historical roots. Since its opening in 1875, Wormwood Scrubs has adapted to evolving security standards and penal policies. While the original Victorian-era design emphasized surveillance and containment, modern approaches integrate risk assessment, behavioral management, and rehabilitation strategies tailored to Category B inmates. Over the decades, the prison has been modernized to incorporate secure workshops, educational facilities, and health services, all within the constraints required by its classification. In essence, the Category B classification of HMP Wormwood Scrubs is more than just a security label. It defines the prison's identity, operational philosophy, and daily functioning. It shapes how staff interact with inmates, how programs are delivered, and how the institution responds to both internal and external challenges. By understanding this classification, we gain insight into the complex balance that the prison maintains between safety, order, and rehabilitation, reflecting broader themes in the UK penal system. HMP Wormwood Scrubs is not only one of London's largest prisons but also a complex institution in terms of its physical layout and facilities. Originally constructed in 1875, the prison was designed according to Victorian-era principles of penology, which emphasized surveillance, order, and the classification of inmates. Over time, the prison has undergone numerous modifications and upgrades, blending historic architecture with modern security and rehabilitation needs. Understanding its layout offers a window into how the prison operates daily and how its structure shapes the experiences of both staff and inmates. The prison is divided into multiple wings or house blocks, each accommodating a specific group of prisoners based on factors such as risk level, behavior, and sentence type. This segmentation allows for effective monitoring and reduces the potential for conflict between different categories of inmates. Within these wings, cells are designed for single occupancy or shared use, providing basic living accommodations that meet security standards while allowing prisoners some degree of personal space. Modernizations have introduced improvements such as reinforced doors, controlled lighting, and CCTV coverage to enhance safety while maintaining operational efficiency. Beyond the living quarters, Wormwood Scrubs features extensive workshops and vocational facilities. These areas are essential components of the prison's rehabilitation efforts, enabling inmates to acquire practical skills that can aid in their reintegration into society upon release. Workshops may include areas for woodworking, printing, or catering, depending on available programs. These spaces are closely supervised, ensuring security while providing meaningful activity that reduces idle time and encourages discipline. Participation in such programs also gives inmates a sense of purpose and achievement, which is a key factor in reducing reoffending rates. Exercise yards and recreational facilities are another significant aspect of the prison layout. Recognizing that physical activity contributes to both physical and mental well-being, Wormwood Scrubs includes secure outdoor spaces where inmates can exercise, play sports, or socialize under controlled supervision. These yards are carefully monitored to prevent incidents, but they are essential for maintaining order, providing stress relief, and promoting a structured daily routine. The importance of such spaces cannot be understated in a Category B prison, where high levels of security are necessary but opportunities for movement and activity are equally crucial for rehabilitation. In addition, the prison houses educational facilities, healthcare units, and chaplaincy services. Educational classrooms provide courses in literacy, numeracy, and vocational training, while healthcare facilities cater to both physical and mental health needs. The presence of chaplaincy services acknowledges the role of spiritual support in rehabilitation, offering counseling and guidance to inmates from diverse backgrounds. Collectively, these facilities reflect a modern understanding of incarceration, not merely as confinement, but as an opportunity for reform and personal development. Security is intricately woven into every aspect of Wormwood Scrubs' layout. Gates, secure perimeters, controlled entry points, and CCTV coverage are strategically placed to ensure that movement within the prison is monitored at all times. Staff have clear sight lines across wings and communal areas, and strict protocols regulate access to workshops, yards, and classrooms. This careful planning reflects the prison's dual mandate, to maintain safety and security while providing an environment conducive to rehabilitation. Finally, Wormwood Scrubs' layout and facilities also reveal the ongoing challenges faced by older prisons adapting to modern standards. Aging infrastructure requires regular maintenance, and space constraints can sometimes limit the availability of programs or recreational areas. Nevertheless, the institution continues to evolve, balancing its historic architecture with contemporary correctional needs. This evolution highlights the prison's role not only as a place of confinement but as a living institution constantly adapting to meet the demands of justice, security, and rehabilitation. In summary, the layout and facilities of HMP Wormwood Scrubs reflect both its Victorian origins and its modern role as a Category B prison. From wings and cells to workshops, yards, and educational facilities, every aspect of the prison is designed to manage risk, provide structure, and support rehabilitation. The careful planning of space and services underscores the complexity of running a large urban prison and illustrates how architecture, security, and programs interact to shape life within the walls of one of London's most famous correctional institutions. Throughout its long and storied history, HMP Wormwood Scrubs has housed a diverse range of inmates, from ordinary offenders to high-profile criminals whose cases captured public attention. The prison's reputation as one of London's largest and most secure Category B facilities has made it a key location for incarcerating individuals whose crimes required strict supervision but did not necessarily demand the maximum security of a Category A prison. The presence of such notable inmates has contributed to the prison's historical and cultural significance, offering insight into the social challenges and criminal landscape of London over the decades. One of the most remarkable aspects of Wormwood Scrubs' inmate population is its sheer diversity. Over the years, the prison has held individuals convicted of violent crimes, organized criminal activity, political offenses, and white-collar crimes. Each category of inmate brought unique challenges to prison staff and influenced the development of internal management and rehabilitation programs. High-profile cases often placed the prison in the media spotlight, shaping public perception of criminal justice and influencing debates around sentencing, rehabilitation, and prison conditions. For instance, during the early and mid-20th century, Wormwood Scrubs housed notorious gangsters and organized criminals whose activities were linked to London's underworld. These inmates required careful classification and monitoring to prevent violence, escape attempts, or disruption within the prison. Officers had to employ a combination of surveillance, intelligence gathering, and behavioral management to maintain order, showcasing the complexity of managing a Category B prison. In addition to criminal figures, the prison has also been home to inmates involved in politically significant or socially controversial cases. These individuals often attracted public scrutiny, leading to debates about fairness, justice, and prison conditions. Wormwood Scrubs' role in accommodating such prisoners highlighted its capacity to manage sensitive cases while balancing security concerns with legal and ethical obligations. The stories of notable inmates often reflect broader societal issues, including the impact of poverty, social inequality, and systemic challenges in London. Many high-profile offenders came from disadvantaged backgrounds, illustrating the social factors that can contribute to criminal behavior. By housing such individuals, Wormwood Scrubs serves not only as a place of confinement but also as a microcosm of societal challenges, highlighting the intersection between law enforcement, social policy, and human behavior. Media coverage of Wormwood Scrubs has further cemented the reputation of its notable inmates. Documentaries, news reports, and books have frequently referenced the prison in relation to high-profile cases, providing the public with a glimpse into the lives of those incarcerated within its walls. These narratives often emphasize the tension between punishment and rehabilitation, security and humanity, and reflect the complex realities of prison life in a major urban center. Moreover, the presence of notable inmates has influenced the development of rehabilitation and educational programs within the prison. Recognizing that some prisoners attract public attention and scrutiny, staff have been encouraged to implement targeted programs aimed at addressing the specific risks and needs associated with high-profile individuals. These programs not only help manage behavior within the prison but also provide a framework for eventual reintegration into society, highlighting the dual purpose of security and rehabilitation inherent in a Category B facility. In summary, the notable inmates of HMP Wormwood Scrubs contribute significantly to its historical and cultural identity. From notorious gangsters and organized criminals to politically significant offenders, these individuals have shaped the daily operations of the prison and influenced public perception of criminal justice in London. Their presence underscores the challenges faced by prison staff in balancing security with rehabilitation and highlights the broader social, political, and cultural context in which the institution operates. Through its notable inmates, Wormwood Scrubs remains a symbol of both the complexity and the enduring significance of the British penal system. HMP Wormwood Scrubs is not merely a place of confinement. It is also a facility dedicated to preparing inmates for eventual reintegration into society. Over the years, the prison has developed a range of rehabilitation and education programs aimed at reducing reoffending, fostering personal development, and providing prisoners with the skills and support they need to lead constructive lives after release. These programs reflect a modern understanding of the purpose of incarceration, emphasizing that while security and discipline are essential, addressing the underlying causes of criminal behavior is equally critical. At the heart of these efforts are educational courses. Wormwood Scrubs offers classes in literacy, numeracy, and general education, ensuring that inmates who may have struggled in mainstream schooling have opportunities to acquire foundational skills. Many inmates enter the prison with significant gaps in their education, and these programs aim to bridge those gaps, offering qualifications that can improve employment prospects upon release. Education in the prison is not limited to basic skills. Vocational courses in areas such as catering, carpentry, and computer literacy are also offered, providing inmates with practical abilities that are directly transferable to the workforce. Beyond formal education, workshops and vocational training play a central role in rehabilitation at Wormwood Scrubs. Inmates can participate in structured work programs, learning trades that not only keep them engaged but also help instill discipline, teamwork, and responsibility. For many prisoners, these workshops offer a sense of purpose and achievement, countering the negative effects of incarceration such as boredom, frustration, and social isolation. Work programs are closely supervised to maintain security, but they also provide meaningful experiences that can reduce the likelihood of future criminal behavior. Another key element of rehabilitation at Wormwood Scrubs is the focus on mental health and counseling services. Recognizing that many inmates struggle with issues such as addiction, trauma, or psychological disorders, the prison provides access to professional support and therapeutic programs. These services help inmates address the root causes of their offending behavior and develop coping strategies for life both inside and outside the prison walls. Programs may include substance abuse counseling, anger management, and life skills workshops, all designed to promote emotional well-being and personal growth. Social reintegration programs also form a critical part of Wormwood Scrubs' rehabilitation efforts. These initiatives aim to prepare inmates for the transition back into society, offering guidance on securing employment, managing finances, and maintaining healthy relationships. By equipping prisoners with practical knowledge and support networks, the prison seeks to reduce the risk of reoffending and help former inmates become productive members of the community. Staff members work closely with local agencies, charities, and probation services to ensure that support continues after release, emphasizing the continuity of care that is vital for successful reintegration. Rehabilitation and education at Wormwood Scrubs are not just about formal programs. They are embedded in the daily routine and culture of the prison. Structured schedules, supervised activities, and engagement in meaningful work all contribute to an environment where inmates can learn, reflect, and grow. By combining security with opportunities for personal development, the prison creates a balance that recognizes both the risks associated with confinement and the potential for positive change. Finally, these programs reflect a broader philosophy within the UK prison system, that punishment alone is insufficient to reduce crime and protect society. HMP Wormwood Scrubs, through its commitment to education and rehabilitation, exemplifies the understanding that addressing behavioral, social, and educational deficits is essential for long-term public safety. By providing inmates with the tools, guidance, and opportunities needed to transform their lives, the prison plays a critical role not only in managing offenders but also in fostering safer communities and supporting societal reintegration. In summary, the rehabilitation and education programs at HMP Wormwood Scrubs are central to its mission as a Category B prison. From academic and vocational courses to counseling and reintegration support, the prison seeks to equip inmates with the skills, knowledge, and personal development opportunities necessary for a successful life after incarceration. These programs illustrate the institution's commitment to balancing security with meaningful rehabilitation, highlighting the modern philosophy that correctional facilities should serve as spaces for both containment and transformation. While HMP Wormwood Scrubs stands as one of London's most prominent and historic prisons, it is not without significant challenges. Operating continuously since 1875, the institution has faced, and continues to face, a range of issues that reflect both its age and the complexities of managing a large Category B prison in a major urban center. These challenges encompass structural, operational, social, and administrative aspects, all of which have a direct impact on staff, inmates, and the broader criminal justice system. One of the most pressing challenges is aging infrastructure. Much of the prison's original Victorian-era construction remains in use, and while many areas have been modernized, the basic structure of the facility poses ongoing maintenance and operational difficulties. Outdated plumbing, heating, and electrical systems, combined with the wear and tear of decades of constant use, require continuous attention. Aging buildings can also complicate efforts to implement modern security measures, rehabilitation programs, and healthcare facilities, creating logistical and financial pressures for the administration. Another major challenge is overcrowding. Like many urban prisons in the UK, Wormwood Scrubs has experienced periods where inmate populations exceed the intended capacity. Overcrowding can exacerbate tensions among prisoners, increase the risk of violence, and place additional stress on staff. It also limits access to educational programs, workshops, and recreational facilities, making it harder to implement effective rehabilitation initiatives. Managing high population levels while maintaining safety and order requires careful planning, resource allocation, and constant vigilance from prison authorities. Mental health and well-being is another critical challenge. Many inmates at Wormwood Scrubs face psychological difficulties, including anxiety, depression, addiction, and the long-term effects of trauma. Providing adequate mental health support is complicated by the prison's size, population diversity, and resource limitations. Without proper care and intervention, mental health issues can lead to self-harm, violence, or disruption within the prison environment. The administration must constantly adapt to meet these needs, often in collaboration with external healthcare providers and charities. Security concerns remain ever present in a Category B prison. Wormwood Scrubs houses inmates who pose a risk to the public or other prisoners, meaning that incidents of violence, attempted escapes, or contraband smuggling must be carefully managed. Maintaining security requires a balance between strict supervision and humane treatment, which can be difficult under conditions of overcrowding or resource strain. Staff must remain vigilant while implementing policies that ensure safety without creating an overly punitive or oppressive environment. Staffing and resource constraints also present ongoing challenges. Recruiting and retaining trained prison officers and support personnel is critical to the effective operation of a large facility like Wormwood Scrubs. Staff shortages can lead to increased stress, reduced supervision, and slower responses to incidents, all of which can affect both security and rehabilitation efforts. Additionally, budgetary constraints can limit the availability of programs, training opportunities, and facility upgrades, creating tensions between operational needs and practical realities. Finally, social challenges affect the prison environment. Many inmates arrive at Wormwood Scrubs from disadvantaged backgrounds, bringing complex social, educational, and behavioral needs. Addressing these requires not only internal programs but also cooperation with external agencies, probation services, and community organizations. Balancing these social responsibilities with the need to maintain strict security protocols is a constant task for prison management. Despite these challenges, HMP Wormwood Scrubs continues to operate effectively, adapting over time to meet evolving demands. Its longevity is a testament to the dedication of its staff, the resilience of its structure, and the ongoing commitment to balancing security, rehabilitation, and humane treatment. While the prison faces significant obstacles, addressing them is central to its mission and to the broader goal of maintaining public safety and promoting reform. In summary, the challenges faced by HMP Wormwood Scrubs, including aging infrastructure, overcrowding, mental health needs, security concerns, and resource limitations, highlight the complexities of running one of London's largest prisons. These issues underscore the delicate balance that must be maintained between containment, rehabilitation, and humane treatment, reflecting both the historical legacy and contemporary realities of this iconic institution. HMP Wormwood Scrubs is not only a central institution in London's criminal justice system but also a significant cultural landmark. Its presence in the heart of West London, combined with its long history and notable inmate population, has made it a symbol of both the challenges and evolution of the British penal system. Beyond its operational role as a Category B prison, Wormwood Scrubs has had a profound influence on literature, media, public perception, and even urban identity, shaping the way society views crime, punishment, and rehabilitation. From its early days, Wormwood Scrubs has captured the public imagination. Its imposing Victorian architecture, high walls, and fortified gates have made it an enduring image of imprisonment in London. Writers, journalists, and social commentators have often referenced the prison to explore themes of justice, morality, and social order. In literature and popular media, the Scrubs has been portrayed both as a place of punishment and as a reflection of broader societal struggles, offering a narrative that intertwines crime with culture and urban life. The prison has also appeared in numerous documentaries, news stories, and television programs, often highlighting its role in managing serious offenders or its rehabilitation initiatives. These portrayals contribute to public understanding of the challenges faced by modern prisons while simultaneously influencing societal perceptions of inmates. Through media coverage, Wormwood Scrubs becomes more than a physical space. It transforms into a symbol of the tension between security, justice, and human potential, raising questions about the purpose and effectiveness of incarceration in contemporary society. HMP Wormwood Scrubs has also contributed to cultural discourse through the stories of its notable inmates. High-profile criminals, political prisoners, and socially significant offenders who have served time at the Scrubs have often attracted media attention, inspiring books, films, and investigative journalism. Their narratives, intertwined with the prison's environment, offer insights into crime, social inequality, and the consequences of systemic challenges. The prison thus serves as a lens through which society can examine broader issues such as poverty, addiction, organized crime, and social reform. Furthermore, the cultural impact of Wormwood Scrubs extends beyond media and literature. It has influenced urban identity in West London, where the prison stands as a historical landmark and a recognizable feature of the local landscape. Residents, historians, and urban planners often acknowledge its role in shaping the area's character and its place in the collective memory of London. Its endurance over nearly 150 years underscores the continuity of urban development alongside social and legal evolution. The prison's cultural significance is also reflected in debates surrounding prison reform and public policy. Discussions about conditions, rehabilitation programs, and security practices at Wormwood Scrubs often spark wider conversations about the British criminal justice system. By serving as a reference point for both historical analysis and contemporary critique, the Scrubs has influenced not only academic study but also public attitudes toward crime, punishment, and rehabilitation. In addition, Wormwood Scrubs' presence in popular culture has sometimes bridged the gap between perception and reality. While media portrayals often focus on notorious inmates or dramatic incidents, the prison also represents the everyday realities of incarceration, including education, rehabilitation, and personal transformation. Its cultural impact lies in this duality, being a place of both infamy and reform, of security and human development, a site that embodies the complexity of prison life. In summary, the cultural impact of HMP Wormwood Scrubs is far-reaching. Through literature, media, urban identity, and public discourse, the prison has become a symbol of London's criminal justice system, reflecting societal attitudes toward crime, punishment, and rehabilitation. Its influence extends beyond the walls of the institution, shaping public perception, informing cultural narratives, and highlighting the ongoing dialogue between historical legacy and contemporary social realities. Wormwood Scrubs, therefore, stands not only as a physical institution but also as a cultural and historical touchstone, embodying the intricate relationship between society, justice, and human experience.